In this video, I want to go over an automation that I made that allows Claude to watch YouTube videos. Yes, not just pull the transcript, but actually watch videos. So let's dive into it. The reason I made this was because I want to be able to make Claude an expert on any topic. I don't want it pulling random information from the internet. I want to point it in the right direction of sources that I consider vetted information, and I want it to have the same context as I have. So not just in the sense of I learned something, then I have to teach it to Claude. I want it to be able to learn on its own. And if I needed to teach me, then I can have it teach me. Or if I just want it to be up to date on a certain topic, then this allows me to do that. Most of every video is just complete filler. So you don't need to see the visuals on every single video. But the catch is there are visuals that you need to see with inside of a video. So what I did is I had it pull the transcript, analyze the transcript for any frames that it might need, and then only pull those frames to get the visuals. So out of an 8-minute video, you might only have 7 visuals that you need to see in order to learn something. That is a way more efficient way of doing it than trying to watch an entire video. Or if I'm having Claude watch an entire video, it doesn't have to watch the entire video. It just needs to know what it needs to be able to see and then go get that information. The way that it's set up is 2 skills, and you have the watch YouTube skill. That's the skill that actually watches the video. And then there's a search knowledge database skill. So this is when after the videos have been watched, they get stored into a database that's searchable. And that way, again, if I want to reference something, I can reference something in a video directly, or I can ask questions if it's a video that I didn't watch at all, but I know it's information that I need to know or information that I need to use. I can just ask directly about that information. Example, if 100 videos on a topic are watched, I might not need to know every single thing inside of each of the 100 videos. There might just be one specific topic that I need to know inside of those videos. This search allows me to find that directly. Example being for a REST API video. If I'm searching for REST API structure, that can be from multiple videos. And if it's 100 videos about APIs, but I'm only looking for REST API structure information for Claude to reference, then I can type that in and it'll only reference this. And it again has both the visuals and the transcript from the video. So whether it needs to look at a diagram of what a REST API is, or if it just needs to know the information, whatever I want it to do, I can have it do that. And every video gets its own file that is stored in the database. The database is in my vault, which is synced to GitHub, it's synced in the cloud, and it's synced on my laptop. So whether I'm doing stuff in the cloud, whether it's a code base, whether it's on my laptop, I can just tell Claude wherever it is that I'm working, hey, remember when I had you watch that video about APIs? Yeah, this is the information that I need you to reference before we do XYZ. And this is the thing, the real power is scale, because this isn't about, hey, watch this video and that's it. This can go up to the point of, hey, I'm busy, so I want Claude to watch someone's entire YouTube channel. I can point it and say, watch this entire channel. And it stores that channel as a database. And again, the main thing that is important is not just pulling the transcript. It has the visuals too. And that's very important, especially when you're building things and you can lose context because it might not have seen something. So it stores both the transcript and the important visuals that you need to see. And this is built with Claude Code, but it can apply to anything. So it can be used for codecs, it can be used for Claude Code, it can be inside of a Hermes agent, it can be inside of any LLM agent harness, whatever it is that you want it to be inside of. It's just a transferable skill that can be used interchangeably. So let's get into how this actually works. And the way that this works is you take a YouTube URL, it goes through YTDLP and it downloads the video file and it downloads the transcript. So it analyzes the transcript. Once it reads the transcript, you get a summary and the takeaways, and it picks out the timestamps to where it needs those visuals. Then through FFmpeg, it pulls the frames from the video file, and the frames then get analyzed inside of Claude Vision. Once the frames are analyzed, then you have the notes from the frames and you have the summary from the transcript, and all of that goes into a JSON file. Then the JSON file gets moved two different ways. It gets stored in the database so it can be searched later, and it turns into an HTML file so that it's readable for me. So if I wanted to watch a video and essentially I want a report on what this video is about, say it's a long video or it's just multiple videos, I can have a readable report spit out to where I can skim through it and see all of the information that I need, and then come back and ask questions about the information if I have any questions about it. So instead of you going through the 85% of fluff that is in a video, you pull out the key 15%, and then you can just ask questions about it if you need to, or you can turn that knowledge into a prompt, and you can use the prompt to actually build something if that's what you want to do. So that's how it works. Now we're going to do a real example so you can see what it looks like in action. So here, if we went to the IBM YouTube page and we go to playlist, say I wanted to learn about data governance, I could have this entire playlist watched. And so I'm only going to use one video as an example, but again, this is scalable however you want to scale it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the link from this video, copy the link. So what I did is I used the watch YouTube skill, and I took that link and I pasted that link and said, watch this video. From there, it took the video info and the transcript. Once it got the transcript, it analyzed the transcript to find the key moments in the video that it needed a visual for. So this was the list of things it felt as though it needed a visual for to help paint a full picture. It extracted those frames, and once it extracted those frames, it then analyzed each frame to understand the visual aspect of each frame. Then, once it had the visual analysis, it wrote the JSON file and it delivered it to me in an HTML stored the JSON in the knowledge database, and then it gave me the HTML file to look at. So I'll show you what the HTML file looked like and how it came out. This is the HTML file it delivered, and as you can see, it's nice and clean, easy to read. It gives me the key takeaways in 6 sentences, and then as you can see, it pulled the visuals. That way, when it's documenting what it's learning, it's also documenting the visual aspects to what it's learning. And it pulls all of this, then it gives me a summary. It's stored in the database. If I want, I can go down to where it says show full transcript, and I can look at the transcript if I wanted to. And as you can see, it only needed 0.08% of the video to really give the full information of what was in the video. That's the full automation. That's the full breakdown. That's how everything works. Feel free to copy this, make it your own, and make sure to like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I make videos like this every week, and I will see you next week.